Welcome to Au Pairs Unpacked, the Cultural Care podcast. Today's guest is Toni Collier, a single mom with two kiddos aged 10 and 2. Toni is an author, speaker, and entrepreneur in Atlanta, Georgia, and her family just welcomed their first au pair, Anna, from Brazil. Things are going so well that they decided to extend their time together for a second year. So let's hear from Toni about her family's experience so far. Let's dive into it. Thank you so much for being with us. So I like to always ask my guests, how did you hear about cultural care?
Oh, goodness. I was looking for childcare when I was wobbling around with Sammy, and I was nervous. I had gone through the traditional daycare system with Dylan, and it was really hard. And so I was just nervous. I was processing through it, and one of my friends DM'd me and was like, girl, you know we have an au pair. I was like, I don't know what you just said, and I don't know what that word is, okay? But she sent me a link to cultural care, and I started looking through it, and then come to find out I had other friends who had similar careers as mine, traveling and speaking and writing and all the things, not a typical 9 to 5. And they loved their au pairs. And so that's how I got introduced to it. And I was so super excited to dive in. And I dove right on in. I was like, sign up, link, submit, go.
Yeah, definitely. And were you thinking about, like, was cost a factor for you at all? Or was it really just like, I'm doing this no matter what?
Well, I'm not going to lie. At first, I was like, I'm doing this no matter what. After I had heard such great raving reviews from my friends, I was like, whatever it takes. Like, whatever it takes. And then to my surprise, it wasn't this huge cost, but it was an investment over time for my kid. And it's been so amazing. So, yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. For us, it was like, I did a lot of like calculations because in Colorado, like daycare is so expensive and we just were like, wow. And it's so limiting. And then also you don't really get to design your own childcare environment. And so when I found out that it was for us in Colorado, about the same cost to
100%.
Host an au pair as going to daycare,
for just
that's what
one
pushed
kid.
me.
For just one kid,
True.
It's the same cost. And I can't imagine parents with littles, with multiple littles under the age of 4 or 5 and not in school.
Yeah.
Then it would be more expensive to go into daycare for something that you can't personalize or design for your kid.
Totally. And it's interesting because I needed a driver for Harper, who's 13.
That's right. Yep.
And a caregiver at home for Malcolm.
Can't get that at daycare.
No.
100%.
So, Toni, we're here obviously to talk about what life is really like with an au pair. Let's start day one. It's time to pick them up from the airport.
My heart's beating fast right now, thinking about that day. Okay, go ahead.
Walk us through what that looked like for you.
First of all, I did not sleep the night before. I was like literally in her room, fluffing pillows, making sure that everything was all good to go. I was like, is it dusty in here? Is she going to hate this? What's happening right now? She's not coming. She's not going to come. She's not even on the plane. I was like,
this is a dream. This is not real.
This isn't even happening right now. So then I'm like, okay, we're good to go. Went to sleep. Woke up. I was like, oh, this is so good. My daughter is violently ill. She's throwing up everywhere.
Oh,
she's like nervous. I'm like, this is crazy. So I ended up having to go to the airport by myself. And I'm late because I'm cleaning up throw up all over my floor.
Yep, this is
and
real
now
life.
I'm like, she's going to leave. She's going to get back on the plane because I'm late and I feel so bad. This is her first time in the country. And I'm like messaging her brother. And I'm just like, I just want you to know, like, I'm taking good care of your sister. I promise. I just am late and my kid has been throwing up.
Oh my God.
And I was like, this is actually why I need her. Okay.
Yes.
And so I pull up and I jump out of the car with this big old sign. And I'm like, love our family, please. Right. Like, I think that's the posture. It's like, she may probably on the other side of it have thought, oh my gosh, like I'm coming over here. I hope this family loves me. But really, I was like, man, I hope she loves us. Like, I hope we're not weird. I hope that this is good for her. I hope she feels at home. And so she gets in the car and it's so awkward. I mean, I'm like, so how's the flight? It's like first date. And then she's like, what? And then I realized for the first time that I talk very fast. And I was like, I don't know.
She has no idea what
Please, we're Google translating. I'm like, I'm trying not to, be on my phone because I'm driving and all the things. And then, no kidding, I literally we were supposed to head straight home. And I said, we're going to stop and we're going to get something to eat together. And I think I just needed to slow down for a second and realize that she had just traveled 9+ hours. She was probably tired. She probably wanted to shower. She probably needed to eat. And I was like, no, we're just going to like take a beat, just you and I. And we ate at my favorite little salad place. And she jokes to this day with her family that she's like, my host mom picked me up. I thought she was going to take me for a hamburger, a cheeseburger, an American feast. And she took me to a salad place. And I just was so nervous. And then I turned to her and I said, is there anything that you need that you didn't get to bring? And she was like, well, makeup. And I was like, we're going to go get you some makeup. And I think I just had to realize that sitting on the other side of me, oh, it makes me want to cry, was a person that had left everything to come and help me with my family. And I really wanted her to feel at home, and I wanted her to feel appreciated from the jump. And I think I just had to calm down for a second and get myself together and realize that this wasn't going to be easy, and it was going to be weird, and we were not going to understand each other for a long time. But also, she's a human being that picked up everything to come help me.
Yes.
And I could just slow down and just love on her and just ask her, like, what can I do?
Yeah.
And that's what we did on our first day, and we went shopping.
And we don't put ourselves in enough situations.
That's good.
Here's that cultural exchange piece. You're pushing yourself.
Yeah.
You're pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. This person is young. They're new. They're brand new. They may not speak your language fluently. Obviously, they have to speak it a little bit. But it just that awkwardness is like that purity of the like human experience.
It's like first day of school. It's like walking into elementary.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yep.
And it's good. And you learn and you grow and you meet new friends.
Yep. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, talking about the relationship between the host family and au pair, that to me is kind of what really stands out about making you so unique among many other things. But, you know, your relationship with Anna is so unique and so connected. And how did you, did you expect it to be that way in the beginning?
Yeah.
And then, so kind of walk me through what your expectations were and then how you cultivated what you have today.
Yeah. What I love about this is that like, we're just 100% real here. Okay. And like, we've got to give the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. And the truth is the idea and the push around being like family is like a big thing. I'm hearing it as I'm going through the application process. Anna's hearing it as she's going through the application process. This is not just about you coming and working. It's about you being a part of the family. It's about you having time where you're on duty or off duty. That's what it's actually about. And so I already had this little expectation in my mind that like, this is not just a person that's coming into my home. This is someone that we get to lean into to create a relationship around. It takes time. It takes intentionality. It takes kindness, compassion, understanding. It takes curiosity. That's another one of our core values in our house is that we choose to be curious and we choose to trust. And so we have like a red light, green light, yellow light system where it's like, if there's something that kind of bothers you, we go curious first. We always ask questions because we want to figure out what the intent was. We want to understand what happened. And then we want to move from that place, a place of curiosity and not anger, yellow, not red. And so it's been really cool because we're kind of like besties now. Yeah, we do really everything together. And it's great, but it is a balance. And Anna and I say this all the time. Yes, of course, like we're friends, we're family. And also we have a working relationship. We have a relationship that is, you know, that starts and ends on the health and execution of making sure that we're taking care of these kids really well.
So a big part of the program, you know, with Cultural Care is it's a cultural exchange program.
Yeah, absolutely.
It has a childcare component, but what a lot of families don't understand really is that cultural exchange piece. Like what does that actually mean and how is it really lived on a daily basis? And I know for us, I think the biggest thing is my son is hearing a different language every single day. And he's at the age where he's developmentally able to really process that. He's 2. So he's starting to respond to Spanish words, speak Spanish words. That is the number one thing. And then the foods. You know, my au pair Mia cooks a Milanese. I don't know how to say that properly, but it's an Argentinian dish. And that is something we would have never had in our home.
100% never known.
And then we've had a couple really interesting conversations about the political things that are happening in her country with the adults, my husband and I. And that has been so interesting to have that firsthand perspective of what life might be like in a different country from a more adult perspective. So
I know Sammy, so my 2-year-old is also getting to that age where he understands Portuguese. And usually when we go up the stairs, I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4. He like counts all the stairs. And one day he was like counting and he was like, and I was like, I don't know what you're saying right now. And Anna comes around the corner. She's like, oh, he's counting in Portuguese. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to learn this. Someone download Duolingo. But that has just been like so amazing for us. And I love culture already. And so this has been really sweet for me because you do get to have like first hand cultural experience. And so we found like a Brazilian cafe, a Brazilian grocery store nearby. We are actually getting ready to do like a Brazilian party they do every year in June in Brazil, but we're going to do it at our house. And we're so excited. It's going to be cute. Fun. And I'm like, get me a bikini, ready. And so we're just like, I'm in, like, I just think that if we are going to love someone really well, we should love the totality of who they are, where they come from, how they culturally show up. And so we're in, baby. I'm like, I'm about to get a Brazilian tattoo. And let's be honest here, like, it's really great for the kids. I mean, it's great for us, right? But the truth is, like, we get to now raise these culturally aware, well-rounded kids that for them, it's not going to be difficult or weird to be around a different culture. They're going to know it because they just grew up with it. And that's really sweet.
And we need more of that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We do.
That is so beautiful. I think that is one of the best notes to end on. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for this conversation. I hope that it's been helpful to any families out there who are really wondering, what is it like to actually have an au pair live with me? It's kind of a scary idea, but maybe we have kind of opened that up and given you a little peek into what it really is like. So, Toni, thank you so much.
I love it. Cultural care for life.
Thanks for tuning into our conversation today. You can find all the resources and links mentioned during today's episode in the show notes. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to hear more insights and stories from our incredible host families. To learn more about the program, visit culturalcare.com and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And if you're ready to become a host family, download our app to get started for free. There are thousands of au pairs ready to connect.